So, how did uncovering your family long hidden secrets and meeting your half sister shift your understanding of love and belonging?
So I was writing my book long before I learned the truth of my paternity through DNA testing. And that, of course, unfortunately, we're sort of, this is spoiler alert for those people who are going to pick up a copy of My Pretty Baby. It's sort of the apex of the uncovering of secrets of my family, of intergenerational trauma and family secrets and family dysfunction, when through DNA testing, I learned that my dear father, who died when I was 7 years old, was in fact not my father. And as I said, I was writing about my family and the origins of dysfunction and the search for the root causes and what I was doing to heal. When I learned this, looking at the results on Ancestry, I said to my husband, well, that explains a lot. And as it turns out, it really was a lot of the root of the family dysfunction in my family, and even to the title of my book, My Pretty Baby. I talk about the story in my book. When I was 25 years old, my older sister, who is 12 years older than me, was very angry at me, which was not uncommon. And she used to say things like, I was the milkman's daughter. And she was just very hurtful towards me. But one day, she was in her anger, she said, do you know what Mom said to me when she brought you home from the hospital? And I said, of course not. I was a newborn and I'd never heard anything like this before. And she said to me, a 12-year-old girl, that she finally got her pretty baby. That she said, I got my pretty baby. And I said, my God, what? Why would Mom say that? So I went home and I asked my Mom, did you really say that you finally got your pretty baby? And my mother said, well, I didn't say that. I said, I got my best baby. And I was like, well, Mom, that's not really much better. And she said, well, I meant because your sister was in an incubator for a month and she was tiny and your brother was colicky. But that really they say that if in a family, if there's 3 kids, those 3 kids are all going to have different parents. We're all parented differently. And I understand that. And I understand the age difference. But unfortunately, also my mother had planted this rage from my sister, this jealousy and this comparing. And that is what really caused the beginning of the wedge. Like, I had no chance. I was a newborn and I had no chance. But when I learned, oh, I was the product of an affair that my mother had, and so I was like her love child. She was in love, probably, with my father. I guess I'll never know, because my mother had passed away 11 years before I found this out, and so I can never ask her, and she didn't leave me any information. But I have to tell you, I was emotionally gutted. I had no clue. I never dreamed that I was the product of an affair that my mother had. I was untethered. I was angry that these people kept a secret of the fundamental truth of who I am, had been kept secret from me my whole life. And identity isn't just about DNA. It's about belonging to tribe and to your family and to your ancestral roots, but also DNA, the DNA revelation for medical reasons is critical. I went into my doctor's office and I said to her, well, it looks like, that whole medical history you have on me, well, you can delete half of it. And then I burst out crying. And I would sit there and I would watch Finding Your Roots. I don't know if you have that in London. I hope you do, but it's a beautiful program by Dr. Henry Gates, Finding Your Roots on PBS. And I would sit there and cry and wonder, who my ancestors are, who my people were. And actually, I'm still grappling with this knowledge and with the grief that I feel, knowing that I'll never know my own father, since he also passed many years ago. And I'll never really feel connected to that side of my family. And, I'm the only child of my mother and my bio father. I still grapple with uncovering that secret.
That must have been very shocking when you found out as well.
Yes, very shocking.
And you said you're the only child.
Well, because my mother and my bio father, yes, I'm the only child of the two of them. I do have, half siblings.
Thank you. And unfortunately, you will never know from your father's side if you had half siblings as well.
No, I did find out, and through Ancestry, I was able to find out, and it did take me a year. I had one surviving sibling that I did get to know, and she was very loving and kind, and she had no animosity towards my mother or her father for learning that father had an affair, but she came from her family, they were very close. They were from North Carolina, so they were very kind of southern, very sweet family. They were all very close and loving. And so she was able to tell me a lot of things about my bio father and the ways that I looked like him and, the things that I might have in common with him. And so she did fill in the gaps for me quite well, but I'll never know him. I'll never know my father. Of course he didn't give me his name, but he did give me life itself. But still, it's odd to be in that position where this fundamental truth of your identity and where you belong is kept a secret from you. It's quite damaging and untethering, actually. Although my husband and my son are lovely and they love me and support me. And, it's for my son as well. He'll never know his grandfather on that side of the family, but at least I do know now, and I can look on Ancestry and dig further into my ancestors, and I can go to North Carolina to a church where a number of them are buried, and I will be doing that. I'll still I'll find my ancestors still.
Thank you for sharing that sensitive
Yes.
part of yourself. Also, did you get shown your biological father's picture?
I did get a few pictures when he was much older. I wish I had them when he was younger, but I do have a couple of pictures. At least I do have that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And those are, will I say, keepsake memories?
Yes.